catch you. So stand up, scream, and make sure the boys feel you.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Good evening, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman, with my partner in crime in the house, newly 1,000 and climbing fast, Primetime Phil. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I walk with a different strut as of today. As of this morning, I was like, "Oh man, I'm right there." I woke up this morning, boom! I was right over the threshold. I was excited.
Yeah, Mark did tell me, man, the first 1,000 is like the hardest thing.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's like creeping, but then something happens where YouTube says, okay, and they start putting your stuff out there. But listen, everybody, it's getting close. We are 3 weeks away. Me and Phil, we're just talking off air about it. We're excited. You know, you get a game plan. He's got to let me know when his flight, if it's on time. We're not going right to the hotel, Mark. It's my rental car, bro. We're going right to the airport to pick up Prime Time. Me, Mark, the chef is in the house. I don't know what he's going to cook, but we'll find something, and we're picking up Prime Time. So we are looking forward to the draft so much, and it's a lot different flavor, right, Phil, than it was last year. We were just novices.
Rookies.
I mean, I looked up the film like, man, look at all these guys. I mean, this guy's so talented, but he didn't want to do lives, and I'm like, dude, we got to stick our neck out there. And
we gotta do it, man. We gotta do it.
Look at it now. A year later. We like seasoned veterans.
I don't even do regular videos anymore. I'm like, what? Regular videos? I'm like, editing?
We're like seasoned veterans now. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, what's your opinion? I don't know why my internet's poor all of a sudden. I hope we're going to be okay. But
you're broadcasting. That's how it happens.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, but we'll see. It should be all right.
So, East Side Herald, when is the draft? Like, you need the draft. You don't need no draft, man.
East Side Herald, man. My man is
got to be on cloud 9 right now, man. Like, you finish the season really strong. Thank you very much, Brad. Thank you, Oscar. I appreciate all you guys with the subscriptions. But yes, man, they are definitely stacking on, and that's what you like to see as a fan, is that your front office is just not content with what you have. Yes, they had great ending to the season. They could have just built on that, continued on, and gotten better, but they went and took a big giant leap and obviously made themselves a contender, to where the Bills kind of now have jumped on that opposite side, and now they're wondering, hey, can they be contenders? And I think with Josh Allen and the way that they are set up, they'll be in the playoffs, but again, I don't think they're any type of favorite to go.
Yeah, listen, man. At the end of the day, shout out, and we're going to touch on it, but let me get to the chat real fast. I'm just going to rattle out the names. I'm not going to read your comment, but
thank you, guys.
Isaac Ramirez, Brad Harris, JoJo's in the house, Lady Libra, how are you? Mike Aldana, Nike 3, what's up, man? How are you? Asman, what's up, man? Do you think you could throw a Guadalajara on some dry ice and ship it to me? I'd like one. Dallas Cowboys, what's up, my man? East Side, I already mentioned you. Shout out to your team, man. I love CJ Stroud, or as Mark Holmes likes to say, CJ Stroud. So I'm actually rooting for the Texans as my AFC team. I hope they do good things, man. I really do.
Well, last year, and that was the quarterback that we picked out of all the rookies that were going to be successful, was that one. He's the one that's all pro ready, and so that's kind of what I've had to do with going back. As I'm doing this stuff, and I'll let us jump back onto the comments here in a second, because we definitely need to shout out these guys. But what I was going to say was, as I'm going back, I'm like, you know what? Let me go back a little bit and see what some of these draft guys said about some of the guys that we have. And then I started thinking, well, maybe I need to jump on this Trey Lance thing, because I need to see some of his body of work to see if there's anything anywhere to get excited about. So I started doing a little bit of dabbling, looking back into his history.
Yeah, well, he has everything. He has everything you want in a quarterback except what? Experience. He's had 108 snaps. I said games the other day. You know I meant snaps. But Sugar Daddy Williams is in the house. Chris Johnson, let's go. Let's go, Chris. Are you ready? I'm ready. We're doing it. Felix Rojas. As man, I already
I see
said.
Oscar,
You got
Darren,
Chris Gould.
Georgetown. Ooh, nice. Is
Yes.
that last name or is that the
University.
basketball team?
A Crystal Caramel Corn, Clemente, my guy. Here you go, Clemente. There you go. This is going to the draft with me, big guy. This is going to the draft with me.
Nice. Is that gonna be a belt buckle? What is that?
No,
I'm
this
messing.
is
It's a keychain.
Yes. I thought I told you. Don't
Yeah,
start.
you did. I'm sorry.
Oscar, my
Shit.
guy. Darren, Georgetown. I'm going to be free of a fat gray man crying about Dak tonight. Yeah, I think so. He's busy. Soaking in his sorrows. Curtis, what's up, buddy? You joined me this afternoon and you're back. Thank you so much for you tuning in for the Primetime show. I will put a Primetimes. I did forget to put it at the top of the show. His channel in the chat. I will do that. David Cowboy, what's up, man? Hamid, the Eagle. There he is. Hamid. I don't see the shit starter. I don't see Twiz in here. I don't see Twiz.
Give him about 10 minutes. He gets about 10 minutes into that broadcast. So he'll come in.
You got Marcus Blackman in the house. Okay, we're all caught up. Vinny Hagen, what's up?
Vinny Hagen.
But yes,
My cousin Vinny.
Listen, guys, if me or Phil didn't see your comment, throw it in
Marcus,
there again. If you have something important, we'll get to it. Sometimes we miss stuff. I know Brad will text me, you didn't see my comment. I'm like, dude, if you saw what I'm looking at, half of it is Greek to me.
Yeah,
so,
it's
fast. I'm trying, my man. I'm trying to talk. They call me Jimbo's son. How are you, my man? How are you? Thank you so much for joining the show.
I was wondering if that's Fisher.
Yeah, it's Mike Fisher. Hey, Fish.
No, Jimbo Fisher, the college.
Okay.
Coach.
I thought it was Mike Fisher. I
was
my
wondering.
mama's
I was more
basement,
curious.
Fish, so you would like that. Anyway, on a real note, we have a breaking news. This is how bad our offseason has been, Phil. Breaking news is Dallas has assigned yet another free agent.
Can't body.
We signed. Who did we sign?
Edoga.
Chuma, as Mark Holmes would say, Chuma Igata. Chuma Igata. What's up, Tim? Tim Panel in the house. Chuma Edoga on a 1-year deal, but everybody slowed down because I was going back and forth at Ultra. He's like, he's a swing tackle. I said, he almost got Dak killed last year. He's a can't body, people. Like Phil
in the
said.
sense that he's a swinging door, like them. That's
ahead.
what he is.
Go ahead.
He's like a swinging tackle.
Elaborate on this stiff.
Here's the thing: is like if you're getting Edoga for the guard position, I'm okay with that. I would rely on Edoga more than I would rely on like a Josh Paul or a Walesko.
That's the first thing I told him. I said, fine. Get rid of Ball, man. You can't have two stiffs on the same roster.
Exactly, man. Like you gotta get rid of somebody, man. I don't want all three of them on there just taking up roster spots and stuff. So I get more excited about it like in Nassim Richards over there than I do in Edoga. Like I think the one that just keeps popping up is that one where he just doesn't even pick up the blitz and he just kind of lets the guy. Oh yeah, blitz. I think it's just the defensive end coming in and he just sitting there looking in the inside like you don't have Tyler Smith right next to you handling that shit. So to me, it's just I'm hoping it's more like a camp body, like a Carl Davis, where you just just something you maybe just gets onto your practice squad. But man, it's not good moves, man. These are terrible.
Here's my problem with it, Phil, and we talked about it. I'm not going to try and spam it and retalk, but they signed him today, so we're going to talk a little bit about it. My problem was he was a progress stopper. We did not see Nassim Richards, our 5th-round left tackle that we drafted last year. So now what are we talking about? What's up, Dave Thompson? Now we don't know about like Nassim Richards, so now we got to do the whole thing again, and we might be drafting because if we know that like Nassim Richards is the guy, maybe we're not drafting offensive line in the 1st round, right?
I think it's just one of those things where
hey, Jeanette, how are you?
It's their backups for just in case something doesn't happen, but Nothing too urgent in the sense that we can't walk away from the contract. Oh, if somehow we do get a tackle or somehow somebody gets let go and we're able to pick up a left tackle or, whatever the scenario is, we can walk away from this, and the Carl Davis signing. But at the same time, I'm really hoping that it's just a camp body because I don't know, man. If you're not going to bring back that, like, there's a whole group of people. Corey, if you're ending this season, you need to improve. The only way that you get better is by, you got to, something's got to change, whether it's the workout, whether it's something in the offseason has to change, work ethic of the players, roster of the players, something to push you to that next level. And right now with all those let goes, and the ones that you are bringing back, those were guys that, everybody saw that. I mean, the whole NFL saw that, Carl Davis was more than, we were hoping that he was going to be some kind of dumpster, like, oh, he'll just plant himself. But that was exactly the case. He never moved and kind of people just kind of shoved him out of the way. So Edoga, I think the same kind of thing. It's just, who are you taking the spot of? If you're taking the spot of a Josh Ball, then hey, let's go ahead and go for it. But somebody's got to go,
Yeah. Listen, I don't. I mean, listen, it's a camp body, okay? That's all. I mean, I get it.
I'm hoping, yeah.
I mean, it's a camp body. He'll probably make the team, but my God, really? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, what's up, the one and only Ron Don? What's up?
Well,
my guy?
I mean, if you're gonna do, I don't know. I guess I can see the price tag. Maybe the price tag itself, but like, I don't know. Is anybody going to sign a, the Green Bay that tackle that Baltieri or whatever like that?
Yeah,
and I understand
Bakhtiari.
I understand the injuries.
Yeah,
I understand that, but he's still a better tackle than Edoga. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like your weak link should be still a great tackle, and that's not the case.
Listen, he ain't no more injured than Tyron Smith has been.
Oh man, yeah,
and you know, so maybe with his relationship with McCarthy, they may circle back to that after the draft. Again, just remember that Monday following the draft, 4 p.m., after that, you could sign anybody, and they will not take away any sort of
compensation.
Yeah, compensation. So that's a big deal. And, Dallas loves them their comp picks. So
that's probably what they're waiting for. That's exactly what they're waiting for, right?
It makes a lot of sense. What's up, Roro? How are you? Dak for a
Glimmer,
second
man, I get excited about those two. Hoffman and Bass, I do. But again,
what's up, Glimmer man?
That should be your backups. Like I would love to see Hoffman and Bass play, in that first string. But at the same time, I would love for them to be not as good as our starters. Let's be real. So that's what I'm saying. Our weakest links should not be that. You always lose people during the season, and I don't want to rely on a guy like Edoga to come in there and just Olay all over the place,
Yeah, well,
there goes Twiz. I told you,
there
man.
He is. I said it 3 times, and he popped up. He's like Candyman. Glimmerman, they are dumping the roster and pushing the young players. We need a better O-line coach. Glimmerman, I've been saying
I would
this.
agree. Yes,
I'm not. Was it a Mike Solari? Is that his name?
God.
I'm not a bit, or Ted Solari. I'm not a big
we're just
fan.
At least we changed. At least we changed a little bit, but I'm not a big fan either. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Bring back Colombo. Bring back Colombo.
Yeah, Curtis Joneses, aka the Muppets, are cheap. Don't shop at the Gap. I don't even know if it's a Dollar Tree, man. I think it's hand-me-downs. I think it's more like the Salvation Army or Goodwill. Nothing against those organizations. Or they're the Wish. We're getting our shit from China. We're getting our, maybe. I don't know. But Twiz, I got to ask you a question. Now, you started a lot of shit the other night. You did. Mark literally didn't say any of that. But stay tuned. Because Mark and Dan will be doing something, and it's pretty hilarious. So stay tuned. But yes, Twiz.
Yeah, David Cowboy, I'm definitely good with that as a backup.
Or the stirring the gravy.
Backup plan. Like, I don't mind him being there, but just backup plan,
Yeah, Dave Thompson, Jerry, all in with what we got, sink or swim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to end up this show with some mocks, but
Well, I mean, it gets me excited. I think the only thing that I look at the horizon, at least is one of those things where, we've talked about it this offseason, next year's offseason, unless some kind of, if a contract is done with these guys, it'll open up more room. But we already have quite a bit of money sitting there for those next rounds. And to me, nobody of really importance that we have to sign other than those two main guys. So to me, it really opens up what the possibility of this team can get. But of course, you got to not insult people when they come into the door, man.
49ers fans. Brian, you didn't get Diggs. You needed him. We didn't get anybody, 49ers fans. We didn't get anybody. Now, hey, Elaine.
I would argue that maybe that we don't need that position, but that, I mean, you to say that you don't need
here's the deal.
Playmaker.
Did they say that
you need a guy? Always need a guy like that.
Did they say that he signed an extension or what?
Nothing yet.
The Ultra would know. Dan shot that down today. Said he is not doing nothing with a clueless Mark, the Dak hugger. Okay. Well, we'll see about that. But I see shit starters here. There you go. Twiz. Yep, there he is. Him and Ultra starting shit. Was saying that Dan ain't gonna ever. Actually, you've already talked to Dan, but nobody knows about that. So these guys, he's not going on the National Football Show, but that's for another thing. Loyal Cowboy, you ready for this weekend or what? We're doing some WrestleMania, my man.
So I put it on X. Like I put it on it's like, guys, got to quit complaining all the time about every single move. Like I get it, but you pay usually one receiver. I mean, if you're paying a second receiver, you're taking it away from your number one corner or your number one rushing defensive edge guy. There's usually somebody you're taking it away from. And so to me, you're on pace. You're doing well in the sense of, I mean, it sucks. I know people don't want to hear it, but they're kind of setting it up with these contracts that, hey, you have to pay these guys because they're next due. Oh, well, he hasn't done anything. Well, he's still next due. Do you want to see him play for another team or do you pay him? Yep. He's next due. You don't have an excuse if you want to pay the guy, unless you want to insult him and let him walk. He's still going to get his money, but he's just going to get it somewhere else. So you got to pay those main guys. And again, man, I get excited about what the next offseason, but man, we're going to see this upcoming year what these young guys can do. And so I think very quickly you can see who you can move on from, who do you still put that tag of, hey, give it 2 or 3 more years, they're still rookies,
Yeah. Yep. Well, might as well touch on it now. The Buffalo Bills traded, said Stephon Diggs. This is what cracks me up. The Bills will receive 2025, not this year, next year's second round pick, and a 2024 sixth, and a 2025 fifth. So it's a 6th this year and a 2 and a 5 next year for Diggs. So,
but then they trade off a pick as well. I think.
They get some picks back. So again, I
mean, it's a great value for Houston. Let's just be real. I mean, like it's a contract that you're picking up. I think that's where, Buffalo still has to eat some of the contracts. So they got dead money, things like that. But you get a good, at least solidified receiver for a second round draft pick. If you could be guaranteed a star receiver, if I gave up my second round, if I'm going to draft in the second round, that would be amazing, So, I guess let's be real. I mean, most of the time, the first round wide receivers aren't the ones that pan out, and it usually is the second and third wide receivers that actually become stars.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was surprised on my live stream today.
Shut up, Twiz.
Yeah, hey, listen, Ultra and Brad, please play nice. Stop focusing on each other, please. Just play nice. Ultra,
what's up, JJ?
Ultra, you don't have to be negative a lot, though. Just everybody has their own opinion. That's the thing that cracks me up. You don't have to voice and say, you're clueless.
Heck yeah, Mark. Heck yeah, man. I'm excited. The more and more it sneaks up, man. I'm getting excited about this. This draft. I was wondering if by next draft, were we sitting at that draft and where I was at numbers? I was wondering if I was going to get hit.
That's what I want to talk to, Alex. So. I'm listening to you, Phil. No. He was just, there's a lot of the, but I mean, a lot of people on my live stream today are not in on Diggs anyway. A lot of people don't want the headache. He is
It's a lot of drama, a lot of diva
I'm not as
stuff.
upset as Mark is about
We
not getting
we
him.
already have that diva receiver. We don't.
Yeah.
We do.
I like I like everything. No, you're fine, Brad. I just don't want all the arguing. Just come on, guys. But anyway, I digress. I got to stop worrying about it. If they're going to argue, just go argue. But listen, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
No, you were talking about the draft. Sorry, man. I was getting into their conversations as well.
Yeah. Mark, I just going to let you know, Mark. We got to plan around this, Mark. I know, like we have.
I get in around 4:45.
Yeah, like we have
night.
a 4 o'clock a check-in, but we got.
You can probably check in before you get to me.
I don't know how close the airport is. We need to find out how close the airport is. Yeah, I think.
I'll say it's like 20 or so minutes away.
I think we go in and make sure we're at the hotel a little early, Mark. Check in, then, I could see it'll be me. If that's the case, then I'll be by myself most likely. Mark will be like, "Nah, I'm gonna do content, and I'll be going to the airport by myself." So maybe we just go right to the airport and then check in. But either way, I'd rather just shoot right to the airport, pick him up, go to the hotel. But we'll figure that out. But that's what we have to do. I will have lollipops, Mark. I will make sure that I have lollipops, because if this trade, my next order of business is just to touch on it, is if Dallas trades for that 3rd overall pick. Phil, did you hear the rumor?
No, I have not heard that rumor.
Dak trade rumor. The Buffalo Bills have offered the Cowboys. Obviously, they need to get the okay through Dak. Rumor only. Dallas is.
Are you talking about Patriots?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, you said Buffalo Bills. That's why I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, the Patriots. Dallas isn't actively seeking trades. Teams are calling them. And that's just doing their due diligence, like we said. 3rd overall, 2nd round, 3rd round, 5th round for Dak Prescott. Now, again,
I would do it.
If you're telling me that we're not signing him to a long-term deal, then you have to do it.
I would do
now, I don't know that Dak would do it. Dak may not
Patriots,
do it.
I mean, 1 year. He's got to play 1 year, still getting all his money, and then he's into free agency. Whether I don't. You're hoping that they can get an extension. I can see that, but I don't know. I don't think that's our problem anymore by that point. But man, if it was possible and it could, I would instantly take it.
Moore, tread lightly. I think you may be. Stan, everybody keep an eye out for Moore, because
what I would do is if I was doing that, then Trey Lance would be my starter going into the season with a possible drafted quarterback as my third string, while Cooper Rush is my backup. So then I could be okay with keeping Cooper Rush on this roster, because then you would have a veteran that's teaching him. And then, I mean,
True,
if you have that kind of a plan, then yes, then I would be all for that, man.
Yeah. Again,
plus you still got your other picks. What,
dude? You could trade, but again, you wouldn't have a quarterback necessarily. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you need to find another person, and at least that would put you in a situation to try Trey Lance. Get another quarterback to see if Trey Lance doesn't work out.
If I'm handing, hold up, I got somebody coming on the door.
How dare they?
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, if you're going to do that, I mean, it's a perfect scenario. Yeah, you got to eat some dead cap money the next following year or so, but if you got a rookie quarterback and you're only gonna have to pay Trey Lance maybe $25 million or so for a couple of years, that would not be as bad. But again, you're having to, maybe 1 or so years, and then those other ones are voidable years. That way you can kind of get out of the contract. But I think that's why you say if you're going at least in that year for Trey Lance, and then you have the drafted quarterback sitting in the wing waiting. And then if Trey Lance sucks ass, let's be real, he could, then at least you're setting yourself up with a great draft for the next following year when $90 million plus opens up. And then, obviously with cap money, dead stuff, you still got a lot of cap room there. So to
Yeah.
me, not a bad scenario.
Yeah, my thing is this. I think, whether you like Dak or not, you have to understand that you can't just lose him for nothing. To me, that would be a laughing stock. Losing whether you like Dak or not, people want to just crap on him about his regular season performance. Bottom line is he was MVP runner-up 2 out of the last 3 years. He's a very good regular season quarterback. He does have 2 playoff wins. He has 5 losses. They could be better. Some people might say that he melts under pressure. Other people might say that, well, it's a team.
I think
game.
he's handicapped. I think he's handicapped a little bit by what the Jones does. So.
Again, I'm not here to say pro or anti. I'm saying if you're not going to extend him, I don't know what the Muppets are thinking. But if the Muppets say, no, we're definitely going to sign him, and they have plans to sign him, and they've already had discussions, then okay, then don't trade him. Just make sure you sign him. But if the Muppets are dead against paying $60 million a year, then you have to trade him. Now, the only thing I would say is, the one thing you could say is, we're going to go with Trey Lance, Dak, which means...
Yeah, you flipped wins for 2 first-rounders, but that was during a time where you could get value out of these players. These players now,
you're not getting
the fact that you couldn't get a first for Diggs, like that, that was like, that's insulting a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, congratulations, obviously. Especially if you're switching and doing that switch to the next quarterback. If you can get something like that, that was great value. I mean, it set you up for the next couple of years to at least trade away, trade through. That sets you up to have a couple of first round picks, man. I envy that part of it because, it would be nice to have a couple of first round draft picks because, since I've been watching the draft and really getting into it, I can't tell you the last time we've had 2 firsts,
Yeah.
Shit, tell me. That's the question.
I mean,
crowd.
Exactly.
Tell me, when's the last time the Cowboys had 2 first-round draft picks?
So, again, I'm not here to say pro Dak, but you have to do what's right. Now, like I said, the one thing Dallas could go, listen, Dak's agent is looking at the landscape. Now, I forgot about New England the other day. God, forgive me. I made a effing video about it, and I forgot I was going through all the teams that would make
New
sense.
England.
And,
New England makes sense to me, like a lot.
Las Vegas
actually.
Raiders make a lot of sense
Gerard
to
Mayo.
me. The Rams make sense to me because Stafford's not there long term. I don't know that they're interested. I'm just saying off the cuff, the Washington Commanders kind of make sense, but I think they're taking a young one this year, so probably not. The Giants make a little sense, and New England makes sense. If there's another team that makes sense. Now, it's up to Dak's agent Dak could say, hey, go and see who's interested or who would you want to play for? Because the Muppets gave Dak a no trade clause. So Dak holds all the cards. Dak could say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm making $55 million this year. I
think it's funny because even if he went, he'd still be making his money. It's not like he wouldn't be making his money. It's like, he would still make it. I mean, and then, so to me, it's that in between. Does he want to move? He's just having a
Vikings
baby.
Vikings and Raiders. Okay. There you go, David Cowboy. So there's not a lot of teams. Now, just remember, any team that drafts a quarterback this year, Phil, is going to be less likely to want to be involved in the Dak sweepstakes next year, correct? Or am I wrong?
Well, let's be real as well, too. I mean, could you really get anything before the draft? It would have to be the draft night. I don't know.
Well,
it would have to be something like that.
Well, if Dak were to agree to go,
if something would agree,
England. Now, Mark says Dak would want to screw Dallas and say no to the trade, but
it's understandable.
Because he wants to go to a team who has...
take away from his other team that he's going to?
Exactly, but then just know. But I just got done laying out that. If the Vikings get a J.J. McCarthy, let's say, okay, then they're probably out on Dak next year.
That makes sense. But let me also say as well that as much as I'm a Dak supporter, again, I'm not one of those ones that I want him here and everything. I'm not like that. Again, I'm a Cowboys supporter, so whoever's our quarterback is who I want. But when you look at what Dak has done, I don't at any point feel that he's ever taking a team-friendly deal. So to me, to also believe that he would just, I don't want my other team to give up so much value for me. He doesn't seem to give a shit.
Yeah, right. He wants to go where he's wanted too.
Yeah, that's true.
So if like Dan Saleo said, if he gets the money now, he might. But again, yeah, Mark, tell him. Everybody's thinking your butt hurt. Everybody thought that you were talking shit on me. I didn't see it, but whatever.
I talk shit on you.
You talk shit. I got knives in my back all the time. So go ahead. Just stick another one. Listen, I just put out a video saying, what Dan said, and he's piped in. So, Mark, I know he wasn't mad at me. So
whatever. See, Ultra Cowboy says the Patriots let Tom Brady walk. Anything's possible. Yes, it's true. And Tom was smart. To me, I always say that. Like, as much as I wasn't a Brady fan, he was smart to always have the lower contract. And in his contract says you have to spend this money that you're saving on me on offensive linemen or these particular things to make the team better, not just hold the money and not do anything with it. So he had those stipulations. And look, because he took less, he's probably going to be known as one of the all-time greatest. Just think about that. Yeah. And how did he counter that? I mean, it wasn't, maybe some advertising and stuff. But no, he went and married a supermodel that was more richer than he was. So,
exactly. Hey, Linda, how are you?
Got divorced and stuff like that. But still, man, that's how he countered it.
Yeah, JJ, I'm bringing lollipops because God forbid something goes down. Yeah. No, it's all love, Mark. You know that. The hell with him.
I got nothing but love.
God forbid there's a trade. Ultra's going to be there. God forbid there's a trade.
I gotta watch the U.S.
And Dak gets traded. I could just see it now. We're all sitting there. We're live streaming.
My jaw would drop.
And
I would not believe it. I would not.
Like the star logo on the back screen saying the Cowboys are now on the clock. We're going to have to work on this because we're going to have to figure out who's going to film him. I'm just going to be throwing lollipops at him. He's just going to be dodging like lollipops. So, because last year that was about the funniest thing when Randy Stites was pissed off when Mozzie Smith.
Dude, there was so much there, guys.
Oh my God. And Mark says, "Get that man a lollipop." And he said, "Fuck you," and walked away. That was the best. That was the best. But anyway, this is like the dog days. If somebody that I respect, like my morning video this morning, I don't like getting into it again, but Dallas isn't putting any money on the field or into the team. They're investing. So there's some people out there that think they're getting ready to sell the team. But I'm just
that's hilarious. I would love that, but that's just hilarious. That's not even the thing. Again, all you can hope for as a Cowboy fan is when Jerry passes away, that Steven just wants to be the face and he just does not do anything and lets everybody else do it and he just talks. Like you're just hoping that's what he does.
Mark just said, "Yeah, I don't care if we trade Dak. Just make sure you have my phone so we can record my reaction." No, I don't think Dak's going anywhere, people, but I'm just saying.
No.
Anyway, moving on.
It's fun to madden it.
Yeah, I want to get to, and I want to go over, and I want your opinion on some of these. Dallas Cowboys have had their 30 visits.
Yes, I like some of the names. Like, there's a lot of the names on there. I'd probably say about 75-80% of them. I really like the names on there.
Okay, well, I'm going to start out with this one, and this leads right into the only way you're getting this guy is if.
You trade up?
Is if there's a Dak Prescott trade.
Oh, okay.
Well, that would be a trade up, but we don't have a 4th round pick. We don't have enough to get up to get this guy unless he drops. He's already being talked about.
Next year's 4th?
You're not getting Fuaga. Yeah, Talise Fuaga, Oregon State tackle. Considered a consensus top 2 offensive tackle, but now we say Fuaga.
To me, so many tackles to be giving up draft capital to get a particular one, and I get
but
it.
I'm saying if you have to me,
he's like 2 or 3 spots away from you. I get it.
If Dallas, listen, let's just hypothetically say, Phil, that Dallas trades Dak, we're showering Mark with lollipops, but we have the 3. There's nothing says that we can't drop down.
Oh, man, I would love to trade back again.
And get more picks and take that tackle anyway. See, that's where the Jimmy Johnson effect would...
Yeah, but that's not,
Well, it could happen. I wouldn't want a quarterback there. I don't like... I mean, if Jaden Daniels is there, fine, but you have Trey Lance. I would be happy to take a Sam Hartman in the 6th round.
Dude,
Develop him, right?
Give me a Bo Nix at the end.
Or Bo Nix is going to go way higher than the end.
Well, he'll
But
go to the
if
end.
you-
That's what I'm saying. He'll go at the end of the first, maybe early second. That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking that he's
Yeah.
going to be going.
Or a Bo Nix. Or a Michael Penix if he drops.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like his.
I'm not a big Penix fan.
Yeah, I
but
don't like his delivery. I was watching it, really watching it. It's a little.
I don't mind
sketch.
getting Joe. What's that Tennessee quarterback, Joe Milton or something like that?
Oh yeah.
He got a rocket of an
I
arm.
like
so,
the
I mean,
Notre Dame guy as a developmental
Sam
guy.
Hartman, yeah.
I like him as a developmental guy.
and our supermodel
with
and he can, like,
Lance and Rush.
he can do the advertising for Cowboys. God,
yeah, right, yeah. He'll be. I can't say it.
I'm just messing.
Watch out, cheerleaders, even though it's frowned upon.
Okay.
All right, so they brought in. I love this guy. I'm glad they brought him in because I want them to see him up close and personal. Trey Benson visited the Star.
Love it.
Love it.
Love
Bucky Irving. Now, Phil, you may know
like
a
that
little
too.
more about
I
that.
like that too.
You like Bucky Irving? It's a day
Like
two guy.
I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't waste my draft capital on there just because you have a guy like Deuce Vaughn. I'm not saying he's
I hear you,
exactly
Dave.
the image and stuff like that, but I want a bigger back. I don't want it's not one of those positions like a quarterback where I need him to be interchangeable. I need this back to be different than what I have on the roster. And guess what? We just like your mom says, man, we got one already at home. But Trey Benson, man, I since the end of the season, I was all jumping on that one, thinking that he's definitely the type of running back that could be a workhorse.
So Dan Taloyo said Jimmy told Jerry they need a wide receiver 2 and a center. Wow, maybe that's why they were working out Brian Thomas Jr. But Brian Thomas,
man, that's actually really cool. Like you're probably very correct on that. Like if you're talking like a Brian Thomas, where now he's picking up more traction. So I don't know if he's going to.
He gone, baby.
Yeah, he's gone now. But like if he was to have dropped, yeah, I mean that would be a hell of a number 2. Where Brandon Cooks is your slot. We're told Tolbert is kind of like rotating in there as well. I mean, Jalen Brooks, you'd feel good about him running in the slot as well, too. So all your guys running in the slot are guys that you feel good about being possession receivers, and your 2 wide receivers on the outside. You're hoping that since CeeDee Lamb isn't one of those ones that goes up and gets the ball, but he's amazing with everything else. Hopefully your complimentary wide receiver number 2 is one of those guys that is a Des Bryant-ish type of guy that goes up and wins 50-50s.
Yep. Jackson Powers Johnson was visiting the Star. I know Phil's excited about that. He's dropping right into our lap.
It's going to be my heartbreak. That's going to be my heartbreak right there because I know he's not going to be coming. I want him. Yes, you have to have one because that shit better be laced with something because I will be pissed because he's going to be sitting there. We're going to trade back and he's going to be sitting there again and we're going to just pick somebody else and I'm going to be like, are you better than me? So yes,
well, I can see what I could do about that. You can't because you're on a flight, so obviously you can get in trouble. But I'm driving, so I'll bring the laced lollipops for you. Jackson Powers Johnson, we're hearing now that he's slipping because
he's slipping. I like
because
that
of some
part.
unknown injury.
Yes, I'll take him.
And they're saying that Barton is going to go ahead of him now. Which slide right into our lap.
I don't blame them.
I love Barton. Barton's a beast.
Jackson Power Johnson was gone and Barton was sitting there.
Yes,
grab Barton, man.
I'm good.
Like I'll take Barton, man. Barton was amazing. He plays the positions, whether it's center, guard, and tackle. And why would you not talking about ultimate swing?
Yeah,
what is he? A swing tackle? Yep. Nah, man. He's a swing offensive lineman. That's just period. Like he will probably play quarterback if you throw him back there a couple of times. So.
See, why do you say that, Ultra? All Dak lovers are losers. Why?
So much hate.
Like, why would you just call somebody a name?
That's my quarterback.
Man, that's my quarterback. That's my teammate. I mean, come on, man. That's a
little
little rough.
Leader. I'm always seeing something in Dak that is,
we haven't won shit since '95. Dak's only been
it's not Dak's fault.
Dak's only been the quarterback for the last 8. It's not him. It's Tony Romo didn't win. I love Romo. But anyway, I digress. Junior Colson was here, linebacker, Michigan. I know Phil don't like him. I like him, but
not like him. I just
6. Well, he's 6'2",
if there's other linebackers sitting there, I mean, I'd probably.
Well, there's another guy that I like. There's another guy, Darius Robinson. I brought this guy up to you a while ago. He's a defensive end out of Missouri, one of the bigger ends in the draft, 6'5", 285.
A lot of power.
I like Darius Robinson. Graham Barton was in at the Star. There he is, Duke, interior lineman. I'm happy
See, that's the guy. If anybody that I can see them trading up to go and get offensive linemen, that would be the guy. Yeah, you go up there, you got tackles. There's tackles in this draft. Oh, you go up there, you got centers in this draft. Whether even after Jackson Power Johnson, you got Zach Frazier, you got the guy from Georgia that you love to Van Prawn or whatever his name.
yes.
And so you got some centers in this draft.
Granger. Yes,
there it is. And so to me, like that's a guy that's you can't pass on, man. And if he's sitting there a couple of spots ahead of you, or what are you talking about? You were mentioning it. I think I'm not sure where I've heard it, but I know that with that possible trade back, what we're talking about. I mean, you got Bills now. They possibly need to trade up to get a wide receiver.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing for the Cowboys. And I want everybody to vote in that poll that I posted, please. Everybody get your vote in. Because I'm Captain Trade Down. I just want to trade down and get picks because I love all those players in round 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, we don't have a fourth as of now. Just remember that. But anyway, I digress. Another guy that I like is Braylon Allen. They brought him in. So if
Wisconsin, right?
Yes, Wisconsin running back, big guy, 6'1".
Big guy. That would be okay. That would be a good complimentary to the fast backfield that we already got going on. So yes, very good one.
6'1", 235. Now that's just some of the names. They did bring in the Kentucky linebacker that after hearing some people talk, he's nasty. Trevin
Wallace.
Trayvon Wallace, yeah.
Well.
He really fits into what Mike Zimmer would want. So I really like Trayvon Wallace. So it would be interesting. Very, very interesting. But that's just some of the bigger names. I'm glad they're bringing in guys. I'm glad they're seeing a Jackson Powers Johnson. They'll be able to mentally see Jackson Powers Johnson and Graham Barton. They'll be able to see, all the possible things. McCarthy went and looked at Joe along with other players, which is crazy to me. Probably Sam Hartman. He went to the Notre Dame Pro Day. So it'll be very interesting what running back we end up with. What do they feel about a Trey Benson? Jonathan Brooks is most likely. If I had to pick, knowing what they have in the building now, knowing the rumors that Zeke is coming back,
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with John. I'd be okay with Brooks being, as long as you got a veteran somewhere where you don't have to rush him back.
Brooks is probably the best running back if he didn't get hurt. What's up, Patrick Foley?
Yep,
How are you, brother?
I agree, but it makes you wonder about his being able to stay healthy. If your main guy is going to be out majority of the time, then how much of an investment is that? How our second round draft picks are. So if you're picking with their second round draft pick, we haven't always been the best when it comes to that round. So that would be in that category. And how we love to pick injured guys in that second round. So this definitely smells like a possibility with this combination.
Yeah. The one last thing I want to touch on before, I'm not even going there.
Yeah,
Come on, Ultra, slow down. A feel-good story. Deron Bland, he made a base salary of $800.
He got big, yeah.
He made a base salary of $870,000, but all of his interceptions and everything, his bonus, he made a bonus of $759,756 just for last season alone. Deron Bland is the man. So I
love it. And people are going to talk about we get blown.
Well,
but you know what?
But Zimmer going to take care of that.
I love the combination of a guy. Oh, he led the interceptions the year before. Oh, now this one's leading with pick sixes and leading. I'll take it, man. I'll take those guys because guess what? Almost all corners get beat at some point. And so it just really depends on your coaching. But with this this defensive line, if it can get to a point where it can get pressure with a nice defensive tackle and stuff, that's going to help these corners back a lot more. You saw Carolina over there for a longest time. I know I always refer to it, but Josh Norman, he wasn't the most amazing corner, but man, he got that first big contract because of what was happening in Carolina and that defensive line.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have to pay Bland.
Pay that man his money. Okay?
Yeah, luckily we're only on the what? They're going to be the third year.
Yeah, something like that.
His, I think.
He beats me.
So I mean, yeah.
Straight
so,
up.
be happy that you don't have to pay him
him.
for at least 2 years.
Pay that man his money.
All right. Well, listen. I just played the drop. I got to turn that down even more.
sorry.
It's loud. No. You're good.
I couldn't hear it. So I didn't talk.
We're gonna do. Yeah, I do it anyway. I don't care. It's fine. We're gonna do a couple mocks. I'm gonna let Phil. I am going to let Phil. Pick for the Cowboys. Phil, we are going to do. We're going to do a 5-rounder. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to let you pick. Now you can see the screen.
I would give up. I would do the other one where you get a 1 and a 1.
Yeah. Well,
Did not go through.
Yeah. Last time, people. Look, we're having problems. I just closed out all my
Maybe
other
we
programs.
just don't do trades.
No, we're just
Go
going to.
fast.
We'll do it one last time. One last time. We're trying, people. We're trying. I can't help the internet. The internet's good, so it's like this mock draft simulator must be going nuts. Let's see. Eagles took Kool-Aid. Okay. Bo Nix is off the floor. So we got 24 to 28. Next year's third. I don't like that. We can tweak that if you want. 30 and next year's second. So I don't like that, but
No.
we could tweak the Buffalo or just pick somebody. You got Brian Thomas, Byron Murphy, Jackson Powers Johnson. Do you want to try and trade back a little bit? We could counter and say, listen, we don't want this. We want.
What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I am going to go ahead and take Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay.
with this pick. Slipping down the board, you just don't look a gift horse in the mouth, and you just you take the pick. As much as I want my center as well too, I feel like I can get something hopefully later in the draft, or Connor Williams in the free agency.
Yeah. Okay. So we took it. There you go, Ultra. You got to be happy. You know what I think it was? I think because I went real fast. I never do fast, and it probably locked it up. This is the normal speed I normally do. So we're looking at my picks. We have a 56, 87, and 174.
Okay.
So
hopefully now here in the next 2, we're going to be looking to get, defensive tackle, but I'm probably going to go more offensive lineman now that I, as much as I want to go defensive tackle. But what do we have?
So you have Michael Penix, Trey Benson. You got Chris Jenkins, Braden Fisk. Let's see, defensive lineman, defensive tackle. You got Chris Jenkins, Braden Fisk, McKinley Jackson. Linebackers, you got Peyton Wilson, Cedric Gray. You got a junior Colson, Trayvon Wallace.
Man.
Edge rusher.
Do you go defensive tackle Fisk, or do you go?
Let's see. You got center. You got Von Prawn Granger's on the board. Let's see. We have 87. I don't know that he'll be there.
This one would be harder.
Yeah. So I think you can wait on running back, but that's just me. If you want somebody, you should take them. If it's running back or whatever. This is a good, if we don't trade back, this is what, like it'll be, This is why.
What are the proposed trades that they got?
I already closed it out. So,
okay.
I mean, we can do whatever we want.
No. All right. Man, I'm either thinking my defensive tackle or some kind of offensive lineman. As much as I want to go weapon.
You got, we got either Granger, or your guy Patrick Paul. He's a big boy, 6'7", 331. But
that's the part that I'm like leaning a little bit more towards.
Or we can go defense. Yeah, I think you can get a defensive lineman on your next pick, linebacker. That's the thing.
I'm going to go Patrick Paul in my second pick. I'm going to get my offensive left tackle. I'm going to go ahead and just get this beast of a guy
All right.
that has, been able to start pretty solid for the school that he was at. So
we got 87 and 174. Now, just remember, people, if you don't trade back, this is kind of what you're looking at. You know, that's the problem.
Fisk would have been a hard second. That would have been probably my other one.
I don't know how they feel about Fisk, but if we're picking them, yeah. I mean, I really like McKinley, but that's just me. I think he fits perfect. Oh,
yeah.
Trevin Wallace just went. We're not going to do that trade. That's the only one they're offering. So what you're looking at, what you've got Brian Thomas, and you've got your offensive lineman. So it looks like we're going with, looks like we're moving Tyler out to left tackle. We're sliding TJ Bass in. Or no,
no.
We got Patrick Paul.
So, we got Patrick Paul at the left tackle.
So I guess TJ Bass will be your swing guard or whatever. So.
And then let's see.
You got running back. You got Braylon Allen's on the board, and then you go wait down here. Defensive linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr., James Williams, Jalen Ford, edge rusher Jonah Ellis, but that's way too early.
What do I have for any centers?
You got McKinley Jackson is on the board. Offensive center. A Bordolini or Bo Lemmer. It's a little early to take them, but
yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and I know you're not a big fan of his, but I'm gonna take him because I want a stout linebacker. So I'm gonna take Jeremiah Trotter, and really help again. Put something that I can help with the run game.
Sorry, Twist.
Why?
Because he wants him for the. Now we're gonna have to wait a little bit. Our next pick is 174. So
yep. If you don't trade back, this is the stuff that you got.
This is the problem, people, and then you're going to be like, "Wow, I like him. I like him. I like him."
That day 3 doesn't start off. You can kind of wait off on your day 3 if they don't trade back and get another pick. So you're hoping maybe you got Tom Eichenberg. There's that linebacker as well.
Yeah, Tommy Eichenberg. Yep.
Eichenberg. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, we got Jalen Wright. I know they had him in for a workout. I know me and you love Marshawn Lloyd if we want to get a running back. But they'll
Is Lloyd sitting there?
I'm sure they're all going to be gone by the time we pick again. People, this is what we're looking at. This is why I like to
Lloyd
do
at
this.
128. This
is the problem. So
we went at like 130.
Now, they did have Matt Gonsalves in as a 30 visit. So there's my guy, Jarvis Brownlee. This is what happens when you don't have your 4th round pick. It's rough. Very, very rough. I'll do a quick mock when we're done. We're only at an hour, so we'll probably go a little longer. But it's good.
I'm looking at that Wisconsin center right now. And he went. Dang it.
All right, well, let's see who we got. We got Brian Thomas, Patrick Paul, Jeremiah Trotter. We didn't.
I'm very happy so far with this. Draft.
Well,
even if there's again, it doesn't matter what you do. If you trade it back, get all these picks, you still feel like you needed some more guys.
So what are we looking at here?
So right now, I'm going to probably take my defensive tackle. Either I'm going to go with Keith Randolph Jr. or my guy Christian Boyd, which I really, really like. But then again, there's the nice linebacker if you want to go ahead and
we already got one linebacker. We got Jeremiah Trotter.
Again, you need a lot of linebackers, so I wouldn't mind putting Tommy as
running backs. We're pretty much,
but I need a defensive tackle, so I think I'm going to go with Christian Boyd out of Northern Iowa. It's a really hard, close thing between him and Keith Randolph, but I'm going to go Christian Boyd.
All right, there it is. Since we didn't trade, Brian Thomas, Patrick Paul, Jeremiah Trotter, Christian Boyd. Okay, that's what we got. So I'm going to do a quick
5th rounder.
Yeah, so I'm going to do it, and I'm telling you now, I'm trading. I'm going to trade my ass off. So let's just see what happens.
Billy Trotter cannot go to Dallas. Yeah, I know, man. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Brian Thomas is gone early. All right,
Brian Thomas, ain't that a guy from Wendy's?
let's quickly look at what happened here. Williams, May, Daniels, Harrison, Neighbors. Nothing really surprising. Terry and Arnold. There it is, Twiz. Did I not tell you they would move up for Terry and Arnold? I think it's going to be an edge rusher. I think the Eagles do move up to try and get Verse or whoever they like.
That'd be a great pick for them.
I think this is a very good
Verse got power.
possibility. Fuaga went. Brian Thomas is gone. So Chop Robinson's gone. So what we're looking at is a 3 technique, Johnny Newton, Jackson Powers,
these offensive linemen went on this one.
Jackson Powers Johnson. We got Nate Wiggins, McKinstry. I think it's going in the second round. You got Guyton and we got Graham Barton. So to me, we got a lot of guys. Defense, Newton, Wiggins, DeJean. So all right. I want to see the trade offers. We get a 26 and 92 for 24. Love that. I'm not dropping that far, so we're going to reject. We're going to accept. Boom,
yeah, I like
boom,
it. I like
boom.
that pick. Good spot.
There we go. We got
Now you make up for that 4th rounder with
Yes.
the 3rd rounder.
Now we got another trade. This is what I was talking about from 26
nice.
to a 26 to 28. They want our 244 for next year's 3rd. Let's see, or we could drop down to get 46, 82, and a 2025 second and a 2025 6th. Let's see here. Let's just hide this real fast. What I'm looking at right now already is 26, 56, 87, and 92, and 174. So we're looking at 4 picks in the top 100, but we need to do better than that. So what I'm going to try and do is counter this, say, okay, we don't want next year's. We want We'll do this. Boom. We'll do 144. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's Dave Thomas, not Brian Thomas. My bad.
Okay,
My bad, JoJo.
They accepted it. Okay, they accepted it. So now we're looking at a 28, 56, 87, 92, 144, 174. Okay. Again, let's not get caught up with who's on the board because we need a lot. We have a couple trade offers, 48, 153, and a 2025 second. I'm loving that. Or 38 and a 2025 first. I'm loving that. We're going to roll with that. We have a lot of picks. We're going to drop to pick 38 and pick up next year's one from Tennessee. Let's ride, and then we're going to pick our ass off from here.
All right. I like it. I would be pissed that first day. What did I buy my beer for?
I don't care, man.
And I'd just be like, but
this draft,
if they did this in the first round, we were picking up all this stuff, I'd be like, you know what? No, I'm good. I'm happy.
Look at this.
It's
80,
like wishing for more
look
wishes.
At this. We're not dropping this far, but look at what they're giving up. We're not going to do that. That's a haul right here, but we're not dropping to 81. 38 to 40, we give up a 6, we get a 3rd. Yes, done. Boom. All right, I'm going to pick, I swear, people. I'm going to reject that. We reject that. Let's pick. I don't know who's on the board. I don't care. 40.
It doesn't matter.
What do we need? Let's see. Offensive center.
Everything.
Zach Frazier's on the board. Von Prong Grazer's on the board. Love it. Offensive guard. Cooper Beebe. I love. Offensive tackle. Patrick Paul. Not a big fan. In my scenario, we're going to probably slide Tyler out to left tackle. Keon Coleman's on the board. Running back, Benson and Brooks are both on the board. Defense, Sweat's there. Edgerrin Cooper's there. We have every option that we could possibly want. Now, let's look. We get 40, 56, 87, 92. So let's look at the best possible scenario. I think the best thing we could do right now is take our center. We're going to take our center now. Bam. Zach Frazier is a stud.
I like it. That's a good one. Good one.
So now, as the way I'm going to roll with this.
He used to be the backup of Brock Hoffman.
Yeah. TJ Bass is going to play left guard, and Tyler's going to slide out. Dude, look at this. Look at this. How can I not take this deal? But let's just hide. Let's just hide it. We don't need Von Prong Granger, right? We don't need it. Let's look at defense.
Yeah, but Von Prong, if you want to put him at guard and then put Tyler over at tackle, I mean, he would make an amazing guard.
We got 56, 87, 92. So let's look at the trade. 63 and 94. I'm doing it, people. I'm sorry. I can't.
Hey, do you think it's your draft, man?
I
It's
got
your
an
draft.
itchy trigger finger.
That's okay. You're doing like draft day. Like,
I'm rejecting.
do it because I
this.
want to.
Boom, boom.
Pancake eating mother.
All right, yeah. All right, so we got our center, right? So we got a lot of picks coming up. We got 63, 87, 92, 94.
So who have you picked?
We picked our center.
You picked your center, Zach
yes.
Frazier, which I'm good. I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Linebacker, the guys I like are still there. Jalen Ford and a Trevin Wallace. Yeah, we got our Jonathan Brooks. Boom, boom, boom. So what we're going to do here, because of the depth, we're going to get our running back here. We're going to take Jonathan Brooks at 63.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Our second round, get those injured player that could be a first.
My linebacker
continues.
went. My linebacker went. This is what happens. Braden Fisk is gone.
Oh. Where's your defensive tackle there? Then?
All right. We're not dropping. Sorry.
I'm a little bit behind.
So
when I see it.
I got Zach Frazier and Jonathan Brooks. Okay. So now we need our defensive tackle. We're going to go with McKinley Jackson. We got another pick coming up very soon. Boom. We got our stud D tackle. 96. Now we're rejecting. Boom. Boom. So what do we have here? We have Zach Frazier, Jonathan Brooks, McKinley Jackson. We need a linebacker. Okay, our picks, we have 92 and 94 coming up. So we need a linebacker here, people. We need a linebacker. We need an edge rusher. I love me some Jonah Ellis, big time. Defensive tackle we got already. Let's look at offense. Look at wide receiver, Johnny Wilson. Okay. Offensive tackle, offensive guard. Let's look at quarterback.
Frank Lowe.
I'm just gonna do what I love. Me some Mike Sanistril. I love a nickel corner out of Michigan. I really love the guy. Safety, Kalen Bullock. Maybe one of these safeties is what they like, but I think we need to get our linebacker here. I'm gonna take Jalen Ford out of Texas and get our linebacker. We're not doing any more trades. So what else do we need? We got our center, we got our running back, we got our defensive tackle, and we got a linebacker. So what else do we need, Phil? What do we need?
Well, you need more. You need more offensive linemen. You need more defensive guys. I think you can always any position really, and once you get into the defense, you'd be safe picking.
Yeah, definitely edge.
Yeah, edge. Edge would be an amazing. You need to add somebody to that rotation if you're not adding another defensive tackle. So, but yeah, I would, I don't know what you got offensive lineman wise, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can go.
Yeah, let's see here.
I hope Lady Libra. She say $5 super chat says Lady Libra is like, is Jimmy Johnson really consulting with the Joneses? Man, you can hope, right? You can hope that they at least bring them in for this. If you're going to bring them in for anything, it's this, right?
Yeah, you would think. I'm going to take a cornerback here. I'm going to take, let's see, Mike Sanistril just went. I think I like Kyrie Jackson. I really do. Out of Oregon. Let's see here.
That's a good corner. Very good corner. If I remember right.
I'm gonna take an offensive lineman here. I'm gonna take Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame. McCarthy.
Okay, nice. The tackle. Yeah. That's the kind of like. Yeah. I don't think that one else.
We're almost done, people. Almost done. Sorry about the glitch on the system. I think it was because I went fast. I was trying to go quick, but obviously that was an issue for it. I just want people to realize, don't get caught up in names early. Load up on the picks. Now, you may not be able to do as many trades here, but I'm just saying, if you made a couple trades, that would really help. Really, really help. Now, maybe they take Gonsalves because there goes Kyrie Jackson, because they brought him in for a 30 visit. That's possible. That's possible.
I see what you're saying. Went to Green Bay, which makes sense, man.
All right. So we took Zach Frazier. We got our starting center, starting running back, McKinley Jackson, starting defensive tackle, Jalen Ford out of Texas, and we got offensive tackle Blake Fisher. We got 2 picks left. And remember, we got ourselves a 2025 first and a 2025 third. That's how you do it. But
you still feel like you got a lot of value out of this draft.
Yes. So if you look at a defensive edge, I'm going to...
Kid Cowboy says, get a quarterback, but not in the 4th.
Offensive quarterback. Boom. Joe Milton. There you go, baby.
Oh, I like that. I like that pick.
So you could do this just for shits and giggles, right? He's 191 value. Sam Harton is 245.
Get him at 174, probably.
No, we're taking him now. Okay. Now, like we got somebody for you buy Cooper Rush, that type of deal. But this is what you can, like, if you like accrue picks, then this is what you could do. Just remember, we own the like free agent market. Dallas, the one thing they do great, they draft great, but the one thing they really do good is you hit the free agency. Right
Those
after
undrafted
the draft.
free agents.
Yeah, so we'll go all. Let's see. Ooh, Gabe Hall. This is my...
Yeah, you're right, David Cowboy. Yeah.
This is my guy here, a Gabe Hall, 6'6", 291. Love him. Gabe Hall executes his role. He's a beast. So we're just going to take Gabe Hall and stock up on the defensive line. So this is what we got, people. We still got Zach Frazier that some people have going at the end of the first round. We got him at 40. We got Jonathan Brooks. We got McKinley Jackson. We got Jalen Ford, who they have in there on their Dallas day. They like him. We got another offensive tackle. We got a QB to groom. We got Gabe Hall, and we got a number 1 and a number 3 last year. That's only through the first 5 rounds. We still got a 6th and a 7th round pick. So that's the kind of... They
like to find gold with that 6th one.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff... That's the kind of stuff that you're talking about. So, again, that's what I want them to do, especially with this cheap-ass Muppets running the show. Why get locked in on any one player? But if they do, they do, and we'll be here to talk about it.
I think it just goes to show, even in each position, there's more than one guy that you can kind of look at and go, okay, I'd be comfortable taking him. There's at least 3 or 4 in each position where you're like, okay, that one of them could go first. Wide receiver, I think there's always a battle back and forth. Who's that number 1, but if you got overtake, you wouldn't be totally surprised, because you know how some of these teams evaluate others, that compared to ones where you think, how do you think CeeDee Lamb dropped as far as he did? If it was to happen again, you think CeeDee Lamb's dropping all the way to us at that time? No, that's not going to happen again.
Let's look at the poll. The poll is... what should the Cowboys do at 24? Take best player available is leading with 38. There's 63 votes. Take offensive line. So there you go, Phil. Trade back to acquire more picks.
I like all 3 of those, man. It's just
a close second. So there it is. I'm going to leave it up, and all the people that watch it can go ahead and vote. Just that's what it is. And if anybody hadn't subbed up in here to Phil's channel, please do so now. The channel link is right there in the
appreciate it.
At the top. It's been there. Bobby Porter, I'm starting to realize trading back is the best option. That's all I'm trying to say, man. There's really not one player that I fall in love with. I don't think Dallas is going to do any. I think they're going to. Dallas is stuck and picked for the longest time, right, Phil? They don't trade very much anymore.
Yeah.
We can't afford to trade up, people. We can't.
There was like a couple of years. I think that was like
exactly
Parsons' year where they tried to trade it back because the people that they wanted basically got wiped out with the cornerbacks where J.C. Horn, and then Surtain was wiped off the board, and then there was Micah Parsons was sitting there. They're like, no, let's go ahead and trade back 2 spots. Gave opportunity for Philly and New York to pick Parsons, and they were jumping up for the wide receiver, obviously. So it's interesting how it all fell because even with Parsons, we kind of almost gave that up as well.
Sorry about the glitch, but that's not my fault. Yeah. Kid Cowboy says fool's gold. Listen, man, I'm not saying that they'll do all those trades. I'm just saying that's what you could do. I mean, even if you did, my perfect scenario, guys, is to trade at the bottom of the first round and then trade again somewhere in the 30s, or even 40s. You saw our first pick wasn't until 40. We got our starting center.
I agree. I like the trading back twice.
I mean, I'm not saying trade back more than twice, but listen, if you have 5 guys there and you're only trading back 3 spots, you're going to get one of your guys. It makes sense to do it, especially with what they're doing with this roster. I think that's the way to go. And Kid Cowboy, don't let them tell you we can't afford. We can afford whatever the hell we want. They're just cheap Muppet MFers. But anyway, Taz, Brian, I lost a huge bet on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah, dude, you're too much, Taz. Especially if we get New England. Could you imagine David Cowboy? Oof, that's sketch. But anyway, we're getting long-winded here. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Phil, we have a show coming up Saturday night, correct?
That is correct. It's going to be my 1,000 subscriber episode. I know Brian's on that 6,000, shooting for 7, but for my channel, as slow as once a week to a couple of times, at my pace. I'm very, very happy with where we're at. I know it's going to grow some more. But again, man, it's just funny where it's come from and where it's at now. It's night and day. And Brian, man, it's just the partnership, man. I definitely thankful for it. And in a couple of weeks, we get to go down to Detroit and do this thing like non-rookies, right?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
So guys, I appreciate you guys as well coming through. Got a good chat. I mean, I can remember again where it was only a couple of people. We would get it. We're like, hey, there's like 40 something people that watch. We were, getting excited. It's just every little step, man. It's been exciting and definitely a whole new, different world.
Definitely. And again, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Primetime Phil. Of course, you'll see me tomorrow on my live and my morning drive-in. But yes, thank you, everybody. And thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Hey, man.
What?
I'm cool. This is me. We're going to jump on that spaceship and get out of here. Let's go.
No judgment. Shoot.
Get to smash that subscribe button. You know what? I'm going to give it, I'll give it 4 out of 5 avocados. Korg?
I was raised by avocados.
Oh my God, just kill me now.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
I think it's going really well. I know. This is literally the first time I took my gun out of the holster. Right.
And that is why we need a triumphant video.
You guys led us to this. Thank you.